What's going on, everybody, and welcome to my review of the Toxic Avenger, released in 2025. So before diving into this one, I actually went back and watched the original Toxic Avenger yesterday just to get myself in the right mindset, and I had a really solid time with it. Watching the original again was a blast. It still has that wild, over-the-top energy that made it a cult classic, that mix of absurdity, ridiculous practical effects, and that unique charm of a little guy turning into a hero who's monstrous but lovable really makes it stand out, even decades later. I appreciated just how messy and chaotic the original was, in the best way, and it made me excited to see how this new 2025 version would reinterpret the story. I went into it with cautious optimism, and honestly I was pleasantly surprised. By the way, I'm planning to release a full ranking of all 5 films in the franchise soon, so definitely keep an eye out for that. You won't want to miss it because it's going to be interesting to see how they all stack up. Now, talking about the 2025 movie itself, I have to say I really enjoyed this one. Right from the opening scenes, it immediately establishes its tone, playful, absurd, and fun, but with enough polish to make it feel modern and fresh. It's energetic, lively, and doesn't take itself too seriously, which is exactly what I want from a Toxic Avenger movie. The filmmakers clearly understood that this franchise works best when it's embracing chaos, silliness, and gross out humor, and that comes across in every scene. What I loved is that while it's silly, it doesn't feel lazy. The movie is competently made in terms of directing, pacing, and cinematography, which really elevates it beyond just being a silly reboot. Watching it felt like a celebration of what makes the Toxic Avenger such a fun character while still giving us something new to enjoy. The story follows the familiar arc of a bullied, awkward individual who, after a toxic accident, is transformed into the heroic yet gruesome Toxic Avenger. From there, chaos ensues. Our hero faces off against ridiculous villains, protects the innocent, and navigates the absurd consequences of his monstrous transformation. What I appreciated about the story is that it leans fully into its silliness without losing structure. There are genuinely funny moments, over-the-top action sequences, and surprisingly heartfelt beats that give the film some emotional grounding. It's not trying to be deep or philosophical, but it does manage to make you care about the characters enough to stay invested. The pacing is excellent. The movie moves quickly without ever feeling rushed, and it's constantly entertaining. You're laughing, cringing, and cheering throughout, and it's the kind of movie where you just want to lean back and enjoy the ride. The characters in this movie are a big part of why it works so well. Each one is colorful, over the top, and fun to watch. They're exaggerated in the right ways, which matches the tone of the movie perfectly. The villains are ridiculous but enjoyable, the side characters add flavor without feeling wasted, and our hero is sympathetic enough that you root for him despite all the absurdity. Peter Dinklage is an absolute highlight. He brings charisma, humor, and a sense of menace that makes him incredibly fun to watch. Every scene with him feels memorable, and his performance adds a layer of excitement and energy that really elevates the film. He's just fantastic in everything he does right now, and it's great to see him in a role that's both fun and impressive. The gore in this movie is another highlight. Sure, it's obviously CGI, but it works perfectly given the tone of the film. It's ridiculous, over the top, and gross in all the right ways. The blood, slime, and messiness feel cartoonishly excessive, which makes it fun rather than off-putting. It's the kind of gore that matches the absurdity of the movie perfectly, and it never tries to be too realistic or serious, which is exactly what you want from a film like this. And of course, I have to talk about the design of the Toxic Avenger. I absolutely loved it in this version. It looks monstrous but heroic, terrifying but also kind of endearing, and it's visually fantastic. The way he moves, interacts with the environment, and dominates the screen just feels right. It's an iconic character design that still feels fresh and modern, and it really makes the character the centerpiece of the film in the best way possible. Watching him on screen made me genuinely excited about seeing him in action, and I think the filmmakers did a fantastic job bringing him to life. That said, there are a few negatives worth mentioning. The biggest one is that this movie doesn't really feel aimed at fans of the original. The tone has shifted, it's less goofy, less campy, and more modern. For people who love the ridiculous, over-the-top charm of the first film, that might feel a little strange or even off-putting. It's definitely a different experience, and the nostalgia factor isn't quite there in the same way. While I personally didn't mind this shift, it's worth noting for anyone expecting something closer to the original's wacky energy. Even with that caveat, I had an incredibly enjoyable time with the Toxic Avenger 2025. The story is ridiculous but enjoyable, the characters are fun, Peter Dinklage is amazing, the CGI gore works in context, and the Toxic Avenger design is fantastic. It's silly, fun, gory, and entertaining from start to finish. I would happily watch it again sometime, and it left me smiling the entire way through. Overall, I'm giving the Toxic Avenger 2025 a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Silly, fun, gory, and entertaining, with enough heart and ridiculousness to make it a truly enjoyable movie experience. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Did you enjoy the modern take, or were you hoping for more of the original's wacky charm? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's have a conversation about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.